Hi everyone, I'm Liz, and welcome back to Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch for Flosstube episode 77. Welcome back to another Sunday Flosstube update. I'm Liz and I'm here today to share all of the stitching and sewing and quilting and all the other stuff that I got up to this week. I would say that today you're getting Pajama Liz, but really you're just getting just out of the shower Liz. Because I have got to be somewhere in a little bit, and if I didn't sit down and film now, it wasn't going to happen, so excuse the lack of makeup. I didn't even put on mascara. And the wet hair that I'm trying to let, air dry into some sort of whatever. It's fine. You don't care. We're here to talk about stitching. What else is going on? Oh, I am so sad and alone this week. Rob is in Indiana with his family and friends, and let's see, it's day 3 of his 7-day trip, so we're almost halfway. It's been fine because it's been the weekend. I feel like this work week is going to be kind of boring because I'm going to have to work all day and then just hang out by myself after work. Lame. So I probably will get a lot more stitching done, honestly. But yeah, I was also going to try and do a lot of cleaning this weekend. And I didn't do a lot, but I did do a little, and this table is looking better. I really want to get into the organization of all of this. That just hasn't happened yet, but I did get most of the tabletop put up on the shelves. So I was able to do a little bit of sewing yesterday, which is great. And hopefully a little bit more later this evening is the plan. And hopefully some fully finishing, because guys, I have 2 whole cross stitch finishes this week to share with you. So that's very exciting. Oh, thank you guys so much for the love on my engagement photos last week. I'm really happy with how they turned out. I feel very nighttime Vegas fun. So I'm so glad everyone liked them, and just thank you in general for all the support and love that you send my direction. It is so appreciated. Should I start with some finishes? Let's do it. Okay, my first finish was my April Wordplay. So this is by With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. And I had started this a year ago during March Madness last year. And I pulled it out and was like, hey, it's almost April. Let's finish it. So I just had a little bit of it done. So I stitched most of this this week, or this past week. And I got it done. My favorite thing are just the teeny tiny little back stitches that make up the bees over here. I think that's so cute. And I also love this bunny in the wagon. Brenda calls for a lot of floss colors in these, and some of them are used so very sparingly that I tend to just substitute from something I have in my stash that I think matches, what she was calling for. So I did use a couple of the called for. I think I used the heirloom gold and maybe the blue that was called for, but everything else is kind of a close substitute. So mine is probably slightly different from hers, but it's pretty close. And yeah, so now this is the 4th one that I have gotten done. I've mentioned this before, but anytime I finish one of these, I'll mention it. I stitch all of these on 36 count Picture This Plus fabric so that they will all fully finish to be the exact same size, to be displayed on this tin. Let me grab it and I'll show it to you. So all of mine are stitched on 36 count Picture This Plus and finished the same way, and I magnetize them, or I add magnets so that they stick to this metal tin that I got from Hobby Lobby. And then I'm able to store all of my others inside. Oh no. Oh no. I just found a problem in here. Okay, so I was just pulling stuff out of here to show you the extras, and there's an issue. Okay, so I pulled this one out, which is my December one, and I noticed that the magnet was not on the back. And then I looked at the June one, and look where its magnet is. And now you might just think, oh, okay, it's just magnet, like just pull it off. But somehow the adhesive side got stuck down to my fabric. Oh my gosh. How am I gonna pull this off without damaging? Should I try and do that now and let you know how it goes? Or should I save this problem for later? Oh my gosh. Way to like derail my Flosstube. Oh man, okay, I think I'm gonna try and get it off. Oh, but I'm really afraid I'm about to just ruin this June wordplay, and then I would have to restitch it, which would be a real kick in the pants. Oh my God, I'm like trying not to just freak out. Okay, let me try and get this off. I'll let you know how it goes. 1 second. Okay, that went better than expected. I got it off. It was right across the word fireflies. It pulled up a little bit of floss, and there's a little bit of an indentation, but otherwise I think it's okay. But that means that this adhesive that I've been using to stick my magnets onto the back is not strong enough, because somehow it came off and then latched itself onto that in this tin. So now I'm rethinking my whole storing them all together thing, because I don't want these magnets to damage my cross stitching. Oh man. Okay. So I've like totally derailed myself. So obviously I'm gonna have to figure out a more permanent way to adhere the magnet onto the back of my wordplays, because this did not stick and it somehow got stuck onto my June one. I mean, the June magnet's still there, the February magnet's still there, but I don't know what happened to this December magnet. Man, I'm just glad there was no damage to the stitching, because I would have just, I don't know, I probably would have just shut this video off and not filmed a Flosstube. That would have been it for today. Okay. Now I'm like, what was I even talking about? Okay, so this is how I display them. This might not be how I store them anymore. As you just all saw. Oh, here's the lid. So this is a tin from Hobby Lobby. And I finished them on mat board with an accent fabric behind them. So sometime this week, before we hit April, I will get this one all finished up and pick some sort of fun, pretty, maybe some sort of like orangey or green, probably like a green, like some sort of something springy to put behind it, and get it all finished up for the tin. And in the meantime, I'm gonna figure out what to do about my magnet problem. Okay, I'm gonna set all this aside so I stop just staring at it in horror and thinking about what I need to do. Let me show you what else I finished. Okay, so the other thing I finished this week was a start and a finish, because I got my market charts, my market order. I made an order for some charts that were just released at market from Hollis Hands Creates. I'll show you what else I ordered later, but I got this. I immediately started a chart from this, finished it, and now I am ready to fully finish it. Just haven't gotten to it, the fully finishing, but let me show you what I stitched. I stitched the little red sampler out of that book. So this is obviously the Brenda Gervais with the needle and thread keeper of the pins, and this specific one is the red sampler from the book. And so it is just a super sweet, simple little pin pillow design with a little tomato pin cushion and some little backstitched pins with glass beads as the pin heads. And I stitched mine on a 36 count. It's called Sandstone is the color, and the dyer is We Will Die For You. And I found this at House of Stitches in LaPorte, Indiana when I was there last year. And it was a local Indiana dyer. So 36 count, We Will Die For You, Sandstone. And I just love how aged and, you know, kind of vintage this looked. So I thought it was perfect. And I might stitch a few more of these on the same fabric. But I started with the little red sampler because I love it. And then I was picking stuff out from my stash for finishing. And I have this kind of red fabric that I feel like is a really good color match. And then I found this piece of kind of cream tiny rickrack. So yeah, I think this is gonna get fully finished sometime this week. And I'm very excited about it. Sorry, I'm like still so distracted by the fact that I almost just like ruined a piece of cross stitch with that adhesive backed magnet. Okay, I need to stop thinking about that. I do think that the next one that I'll do will either be the lady over here with the needle and the thread, or this bird clamp thread situation one here. And then I also super love this little tomato pin cushion stack. So super, super cute book, and I'm really glad I picked this up. Okay, so then the only other thing I worked on this week besides those two was my ring bearer pillow, which was Wedding Roses by From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. She kindly sent me this chart when she heard that I was looking to stitch a ring bearer pillow, and I almost had to finish on this one last night, but I ended up going to bed because it was getting late. So I have today, tomorrow, and so all I have to stitch underneath it is Always to finish off that. And then I am going to make this double-sided, so I haven't yet fully decided if I'm going to stitch the roses on the other side or not. I might just do the ribbon holder, and then this side, actually, I don't know, I have to figure it out. But I'm almost finished with this chart, the Today, Tomorrow, Always, and then I'll have to figure out what I'm going to put on the other side of the pillow, because I want this side to be the side I display after the wedding as like just a sweet little, you know, our little ring bearer pillow, and I'll put our wedding date on it. And then on the other side is where I was going to attach the ribbon to actually hold the rings. Yeah, so I don't know. So I'm still working out exactly how I'm going to fully finish it, but I stitched this, let's see, on a 36 count Weeks Dye Works linen. That's the color, is linen. Just a really pretty pale neutral. So, and I am using, I didn't have the called for colors, but I'm using very similar colors that she calls for. So, yep, those are my that's my cross stitch whip. I only had one because I finished my other two projects. I did do a little bit of sewing last night. Finally, I got in here and cleaned off the desk enough that I felt like I could get some sewing done. And I worked on my single girl quilt, and that is a pattern by Denise Schmidt. And I didn't realize it's actually like an out of print or hard to find chart, because she redesigned the single, I think it's called Freewheeling Single Girl Quilt now. But that's how long I've had this quilt in progress, that she's already revamped the pattern and re-released it years ago, because it's taken me forever to get this quilt done. And I made it a goal to try to finish it before I'm not a single girl. And I think I'm gonna get there. I think I have 18 of my blocks left to sew, and this is what one of the blocks looks like. It's a quarter of a circle. And so I made 2 more of these last night. And I think I've got, let's see, I think there were 48 that I need for my quilt top, and I think I've got 29 or so made. So yeah, so I'm getting there. I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks to get all these done and then sew them together, and then maybe I can get it quilted before the wedding. That might be too ambitious, but that's my goal. I want to get that one done because I've got so many other quilt ideas like rattling around in my head, including, oh, I forgot to bring some haul in here. I'll have to grab that. Yeah. Let me get all my haul situated and then I'll talk some more about some other quilt plans because I got some stuff. Okay, so a while back I bought this jelly roll, which I know it's kind of hard to see because it's still shrink wrapped, but it is called Ladybird. It's by Moda. Let's see, Crystal Manning for Moda. So it's called Ladybird, which I'm here in Austin, and Ladybird Johnson has a wildflower center here. The Johnsons are from Texas. Anyways, Ladybird Johnson's a big deal in Texas, and I don't know if this is specifically named after Ladybird Johnson, but I feel like with the wildflower theme, it probably is. I should probably Google and see. But anyways, I bought this fabric. I loved the colors, loved the name. And I found a pattern called Marietta, I believe is how you say it. And I can't remember now if it was free or if I bought it. I'll post that info down below. And it's a jelly roll friendly quilt. And so I have the jelly roll, and then I went to my favorite local quilt shop yesterday, which is called Austin Sewing, up in Round Rock, Texas. And they have a 20% off sale every third Saturday, and I finally remembered to like mark my calendar for the third Saturday and went in there to get 20% off. And so I bought 2 fabrics from the Ladybird line. I bought this yellow, and I bought, I mean, this one's my favorite, but I mean, they're both great, but I also bought this blue floral from the line. So I've got these and my jelly roll. So these will probably, one of these will be border and one of these will be backing. So I'll have to decide like once I get the top together. But yeah, I'm just obsessed with these fabrics. Like, they're just gorgeous. They remind me a lot of like Rifle Paper Company, which is just one of my all-time favorite designers and illustrators. So anyways, I'm just obsessed with this fabric line, and it was 20% off. And I think this blue one was 25% off because I bought the end of the bolt. So I think this is like 2 3/4 yards. And yeah. So anyways, I really would like to make this quilt. It feels like a very summery thing to be working on. So spring, summer, flowers, I don't know. Anyways, so that's on my mind. And so then let me just show you the rest of the haul I have. So from my quilt store haul yesterday, I also got, this is a Be Basic, a Lori Holt Be Basic, and I will probably use this as the background for my jelly roll quilt. I have some other background options, but this is kind of what I got, like with that in mind. So we'll see. And then I got some more fusible fleece, and I also got one of the new colors of this octopus print from Ruby Star Society. So this fabric originally came out a few years ago in a different colorway. I think it was like a gray and black, and I don't know, I don't remember actually, but I made Rob a mask out of it at the start of the pandemic, and I just had a little fat quarter of it, and he was like, oh, I wish you had more of that. I was like, yeah, it's, you know, sold out everywhere, but they just released some new colorways. And so I got this blue and black version, and I got a full, actually, I think I got 2 yards. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know that he needs another quilt, but I probably will make him one. Because Rob loves octopuses. He has a little collection on his shelf above his computer of like some different cool octopus stuff. And anyways, they're just his favorite. And so I just couldn't pass up this fabric because I feel like it's so hard to find fabrics that I feel like Rob would like. And so I know he'd like this one. So I got it, and I'll figure out something to make for him at some point with it. But I just thought it was super cool. So yeah, that is what I got at my quilt shop yesterday. And then in the mail this week from Fat Quarter Shop, I got 2 of my Fat Quarter clubs. I got my January 2022 quarterly Ruby Star Society club. And I actually feel like These might be from the same line as those octopuses because it feels like the same kind of color. So that's cool. And these come with a spool of thread and a pattern, which is excellent. And then I got my Moda Fat Quarter Bundle, which is Blackbird Designs fabric. So I got 12 of these gorgeous Blackbird Design fabrics, and I definitely think I'm gonna make myself some project bags, some Blackbird Design project bags for all of my, I probably have like 10 Blackbird Design whips right now. I probably won't make 10 bags, I'll probably make 2 or 3, but I just feel like it would be super fun to have some Blackbird Design specific project bags. So I think that's probably what I'll use this Fat Quarter Bundle for at some point. I do have way too many Fat Quarter Bundles at this point. I have belonged to this quarterly club since 2015, whenever it launched, or 2016. So I already had a ton of these, and now I belong to this club and it's monthly, so my Fat Quarter collection is getting out of control. I may pause this one for a little while because there's still some Moda ones that I know for sure I want, but we'll see. My fabric collection has exploded in the last year. It's funny because, you know, as I put these shelves up, a few months after I started Flosstube, I put these bookshelves up, and you can tell if you go back in time in my videos how much, you know, my fabric stash has grown over here. And I really did used to have a lot more fabric in my old house, but when I moved to this house 3 years ago, almost at this point, I purged so much stuff. It was like only the top of the top, the best, the stuff that I know I can't give away, you know, comes with. And now I'm just like, oh, let the stash re-explode. So I definitely need to have a pare down again at some point because I'm just running out of space in this room. So I may have to pause some of my Fat Quarter clubs because I don't have space for it all. And until I start using them up, I can't bring more in, right? That's like the responsible adult thing to do. So, okay, I did have some other haul. Oh, actually just one more shop. Okay, so I have my Hollis Hands Creates order, which had all my market stuff. There's a couple things that haven't come in yet. It's like she shipped most of my order, but not all, I think. Let me see. Okay, I'm realizing I don't know where one thing is. So I definitely ordered some Blackbird design charts that weren't in the order yet. I think those are still, she's still waiting to get those. But what I did get was the scissor sampler by Tell an Emblem. And I think I left that in the living room. I was working on kitting it up and I was sitting out in the living room doing it. So I'll just put the chart on the screen. So I got the Tell an Emblem scissor sampler. And then I got a piece of the brand new R&R Fabrics Barb's Blend, which is just a very pretty gray neutral. It definitely leans more gray than brown, but it's just really lovely. And I got a 36 count, yep, 36 count fat eighth, because that's all she had. Otherwise, I definitely would have gotten a fat quarter of this. But I will be on the lookout for more of this fabric because it's gorgeous. So I got that. And then I got this chart, and I'm gonna hold it carefully because I have a bunch of floss shoved in there. This is the new, oh wait, I'm holding it backwards anyways. This is the new Madame Chantilly tiered tray called Love, right? Is this one called Love? No, Celebrate Love. And this is the first tiered tray chart from Madame Chantilly that I've bought. Let me just take the floss out of it so I'm not trying to hold it up awkwardly. I went to Michael's the other day and tried to get most of the floss for it. Okay, so here was my idea with this chart. I kind of want to personalize this as like a wedding piece. So I feel like up at the top, the little man and woman could definitely be, a little bride and groom. And I feel like on the chalkboard, I could put our wedding date, and the white cat might become either a black cat or an orange one because that's what we have. And, but otherwise, and like maybe I'll change some of the flower colors or something. I don't know. Here's the thing. Like I'm not I'm not a designer. I don't want to like make this no fun for me to stitch by like having to rethink everything. So I'm trying to think about like simple things to change to make it personal, you know, like to kind of fit my wedding. I don't know. I just think it's super cute. So I haven't fully decided how I'm going to stitch it or what I might change if I do stitch it, but I have the chart and I got the called for floss, and then I may make some changes, you know, because obviously this is Valentine's themed, but I feel like it's already pretty close to being wedding themed, and I can just nudge it there with a couple of changes. So, and also it's stitched on this really pretty gray fabric, and I kind of feel like Barb's blend might be perfect. Yeah, so anyways, that is my haul, I think. Is that everything I got? I think so. Yeah, okay, so I have got to run down to my sister's house. So I know this is a little bit of a short one, apologies. Hopefully I'll have a lot more to show you next week because I've got a whole week to myself this upcoming week, and I have a feeling I'll be in this craft room a lot. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me for this short and sweet video, and I'll be back with you next Sunday. Bye!